You ready? Hello and welcome to another podcast from Haunted Smoke and Mirrors. I'm M.
I'm Riker. I like that you started that while I was drinking, taking a drink.
Sorry.
No, it's
You just
fine.
gave me the cutest look, so I was like, it's time!
I just looked at you.
Mhm. So, if you guys know nothing about us, we're psychic mediums and we like to talk about all things metaphysical, paranormal, and such like that. And today we're going to be talking specifically about how we don't prove the existence of ghosts at ghost investigations because
We've
we're
gotten a lot of
psychic mediums and we already know they
yeah,
exist.
and we've gotten a lot of comments
Yeah,
about it saying that we're not actual paranormal investigators because we're not trying to prove the existence of ghosts when we go on ghost hunts,
yeah.
which is like weird to me.
Well, it's interesting because, like, as a paranormal investigator, you know that you're going to find evidence of paranormal activity at location. If
hmm
you didn't believe that you were going to, why would so many people do it and continue to do it?
Well, my thing is, I don't know, like other like other people, other investigators who say that like they're trying to prove ghosts exist, go to like location after location. They go to dozens, if not hundreds of locations, get activity, get things happen, and they're still trying to prove that it's like at what point in in your career as a paranormal investigator
Yeah,
do you stop trying to prove ghosts exist and just try to like
just get evidence in
yeah,
general. Yeah, because I don't know, it's kind of like people that chase storms.
yeah,
You don't have to prove the existence of tornadoes, but you're going to get more information about the tornadoes each time one happens and you put all of your like beep boop bop equipment in it.
mhm.
It's the same kind of concept. We're getting more evidence of souls, but we're also psychic mediums. We, if we didn't think ghosts exist, I think there would be a couple issues with the fact of us calling ourselves psychic mediums.
Psychic medium, yeah.
So there's that. That's a little bit.
I mean, people also already debating whether or
Well,
not we're
I
psychic mediums, but
realize
that's a
that,
whole other thing.
but we're also like, if you guys haven't seen our other channel, those meddling mediums, in our literal name, we claim that we're psychic mediums. We're a paranormal investigation team that goes and unveils, unmasks, because that's what I like to say
Yeah,
for our branding. We
unmasked.
unmask the paranormal so that people understand that it's not what you think it is. And
Yeah,
that's what we're doing on paranormal investigations.
yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird to me that there's like a line drawn of you're not a paranormal investigator if you think that they already exist. And if you're not
Yeah.
trying to prove they're real, then you're not you're just a like an entertainer. And I was like, okay, I don't know, because people also try to say that like we're doing it for like like we're just it's just entertainment, that
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's all
no.
fake, which do we put it on YouTube for entertainment purposes?
Yeah.
Yes. But at least like my viewpoint is I don't necessarily need to put everything on YouTube,
Hmm.
but it's I want to share what we're doing with other people so they can see how like mediumship actually works, especially in haunted locations.
Yeah, we're not necessarily proving the existence of ghosts, but we are gathering evidence about the souls that are there, and we are changing the viewpoints about the paranormal as a whole.
Yeah.
That's why we call ourselves investigators, because we are investigating a property to help change the perceptions of people around us.
Mhm.
And that's, I don't know, that's what I feel like an investigator does.
That's my
They
viewpoint on it,
gather
but
evidence to change the perception of someone. And that's like what people think we're supposed to be doing by
yeah.
gathering evidence to prove ghosts. We already know that they exist.
Yeah.
So we're proving other things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it always is just frustrating to me because like I feel like tying into that people always like talk about, especially like as of lately, how like which equipment is like debunked or fake or can be like triggered remotely. And it's like everything can,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Well,
that's
the reason why it's called paranormal activity is
because
because it
it's
is not
not normal.
normal activity.
Yeah, so I don't know, like the whole like flashlights. we obviously like, we're not stupid. We understand that sometimes when the flashlight goes on and off, it's nothing, and we
Yeah.
will even say ourselves.
Yeah.
But the amount of times where you have it's more like intelligent, like
Mhm.
constantly, not
Yeah.
just like the flickering, but we've I don't know, we've put out flashlights that are like set up and we will get nothing on them for hours
Yeah,
while they're
because
on and
we
working.
watched this debunking video and the person was trying to claim that the longer the flashlight's on, the more heat it creates and the more so it will go off. So if you wait long enough, flashlight's going to start going off like crazy. But I can tell you we use them during stream. They
Mhm.
sit out and there are streams where they it doesn't go off at all and
Mhm.
it might go off once during a stream. It might go off a lot. If that was true, then it would happen every single time.
Yeah, and even at like locations, it's very hit and miss.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, it's just I don't know, I've seen a lot of conversations, just about, like, people like, right now, people have kinda moved away from flashlights, now they're targeting the
Mhm.
apps
Oh,
the apps.
the apps have always been on a target.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of discussion about
Mhm.
that because people are talking about how you shouldn't have equipment, like, lead your investigation, so you shouldn't have flashlights lead your investigation or apps or a REM pod
Mhm.
or anything lead the investigation. Which I guess it's still just confusing because if we say that, like, we don't need ghost hunting equipment to go and talk to
Yeah.
spirits, like, we're psychic mediums, we can do it
Mhm.
without, but it helps add, like, validation and extra
Mhm.
things. But if we went in without equipment and we were just saying things, people would still say we were, like,
Yeah.
it was fake and I also don't know if you could give am I
I
actually gonna
don't think you can, but
okay, great.
we have chinchillas that are
It's
next
literally just right over here.
and they're running on their wheel and doing stuff like that. Our house is a zoo. I'm also sick, so you probably hear a lot of coughing. I'm sorry.
It's fine, everything's fine. But I don't know, it's just so weird how especially right now in the, like, space, there's so many, like, stipulations and, like,
Yeah.
rules that like,
Well,
arbitrary rules people are making of, like, it needs to be done this way, like
mhm.
this, but if even if you do it like they say, people will still find a reason to prove that or to try to say that, like, you're fake, prove that, like, the equipment's not actually working, or, like, call you out for things.
Yeah. And debunking is like part of our industry and it's part of our field.
Yeah,
But when you have a channel that's just debunking, like what content are you going to post if it's not debunking something? So it's
exactly.
like you have to go into everything and try to disprove everything. So it's kind of like
Oh,
putting
that's a
a
bumper.
filter over everything. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Mhm.
So it's like they're just also grasping at straws sometimes to try to make a video.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know, with the equipment stuff, I feel like a lot of people want it to just happen, like noises or like apparitions or like
which
sounds, which it does happen, but it's also hard to capture just
well,
out of the
even when
blue.
people capture that stuff,
They get invalidated.
it's fake. They're doing all sorts of editing to
Mhm.
make that happen. So, and I'm not obviously trying to say that like every single person is like real or I'm not even trying to say that everyone is fake. Like there's going to
Yeah.
be a range. Like there are going to be people who like
Do
fake
fake
things
content.
and do fake stuff and there are going to be people who are legit.
Because literally the same as how debunkers have the pressure to debunk,
Yeah.
this industry is very much like that as well. You feel the pressure of, oh, if we don't get equipment, like if we don't get evidence, then people are going to be like upset about it.
Yeah.
And that's not part of the field. So when we post a video and not a lot happens, that's like further validation for us to be like,
Yeah.
we're not trying to fake
Yeah. I
something.
don't know like Blackford
Yeah.
County Jail, which we just posted as of recording this, that was our last investigation that we posted on over on Meddling Mediums, but we got like no activity. Like we got
Yeah.
some flashlights, but even the flashlight activity was like very hit and miss while we were
Spotty.
there. We tried using like the Ghost Tube Vox app,
Yeah.
very hit and miss. Like
Mhm.
wasn't really getting anything like tangible. We were getting nothing until we went to the dungeon,
Mhm.
and then we got activity, and then like once like we crossed that soul over, it was
It was
silent.
dead again.
Yeah, nothing happened. So it's very like
Hit or miss.
hit or miss. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think that going into haunted locations is like noises, people talking, like disembodied voices, like all the time. A lot of times it's just us sitting alone in a dark room with something that goes beep boop
And just
and can be set off by a lot of things.
yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the people who say that real investigators don't even like post content to like TV or YouTube? 'Cause I've seen the argument of there are people who are real investigators and they're not interested in like showing their evidence because they're just gathering it themselves. They're not trying to put it on YouTube for entertainment.
Well, it's also like what is the point of that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
I
who
just
gets the evidence? Just three people?
mhm.
Because like I don't know the importance of what we're doing. We're not trying to necessarily prove the existence of ghosts like we're saying,
Yeah.
but we're trying to change people's perceptions of the paranormal by making it less fear-based.
Mhm.
So, yes, it can be entertaining. A lot of people like go into it and like to fearmonger, and like that a lot of times people view as the entertaining aspect of ghost investigations, and also why people think that they fake things because
Mhm.
they're always trying to be like, oh, well, a demon scratched me and stuff like that, where not every location is going to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Which I don't know. We've I haven't gone to a whole lot yet because obviously I'm still new
Mhm.
to paranormal investigations, but I don't know. Like we've had like crazy things happen, like
Yeah.
footsteps running up to us or
Yeah, that was still like
multiple times.
wild.
But other than that, like we get some equipment activity, but most of the time it's our mediumship that is like,
Crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
because the thing that's interesting with our content, or at least that's what I think is weird, because doing it and then watching it's weird. But it's like when we are talking to souls, our equipment will act paranormally
Mhm.
and will be very responsive
Yeah.
when we are getting things right. And it's like weird because if you watch other people's like investigations, it's harder for them to get them to like make it go off. A lot of times they're like, make it go off, three, two, one, and it doesn't do anything. A lot of times souls aren't going to use their energy to like make something go off if it's not important.
Yeah.
Like they've done it like three times, they're done with the trick. But
Yeah.
when we're telling souls stories, a lot of times I feel like they're more responsive
Mhm.
because we're spreading information that they want people to know.
Yeah, I don't know, it's not just treating it as a, like, party trick or, like, being like,
Yeah.
"Okay, you soul of this man,
Mhm.
turn that flashlight on immediately. 3,
Mhm.
2, 1.
Yeah.
Okay, now to prove it again, turn it off. Turn it back on.
Yeah.
Turn it off again.
Like, if you want us to leave, turn it off. It
Turns
goes
off.
off. If you really want us to leave,
Turn
turn
it
it
on.
back on.
Turns on. If you want us to leave, turn it off."
And then it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
want us to leave. So,
like, obviously. But it's like we're not trying to like goat people in that sense, but it's like people are right. Equipment can be like debunked, but when it acts paranormally,
yeah.
that's where it becomes like questionable. Because that's why there's paranormal equipment, because these are things that people, investigators have figured out souls can use very easily to manipulate,
Mhm.
but they can also manipulate things in your environment. It's literally like evidence is something acting weird. There's no like scientific component that's like proving the existence of
Yeah.
ghosts. It's all of this like whack equipment that's just acting weird. You can make all of the equipment
That's
act
why
weird as
that's why
well.
cat balls are used.
Yeah,
Literally cat
they're
toys.
literally cat toys. They're motion sensor cat toys. Or like a REM pod. If you had like a walkie-talkie
It
and you
goes
make the
off.
walkie-talkie go off, it'll make your REM pod go off.
Which I also like because there was one at one of the locations we had walkie-talkies and we had our REM pod out
Yeah,
and we used it and it was very, very
it's
different
very
versus how it was
obvious.
being triggered out like otherwise. Like
Yeah.
and it was just like paranormally.
Mhm. Yeah, it was like kind of like an explosion. So it was everything and then it went down to the middle point
Yeah, it was
and
just
was just very high pitched.
yeah, and it was horrible.
Yeah. So it's very obvious if you use like a specifically like walkie-talkies when you're doing that
Yeah.
versus when uh ghosts are interacting with it. But people also claim that like the building, if there's electromagnetic frequencies in the building, that can happen. Your phone may potentially set it off. So you have to be like in airplane mode. Like there's so many ways to debunk everything
Mhm.
that people sometimes that's all they see.
Yeah,
And
I
that's why
agree.
people keep being like, you need to prove the existence of ghosts, otherwise you're not an investigator.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how, like, you prove the existence or, like, try to prove the existence, especially, I don't know, like, there are some channels that have, like, hundreds of videos.
Mhm.
And obviously, I'm talking more specifically about YouTube, not, like, TV.
Yeah.
Because, like, even, like, some of the TV shows have talked about, like, Ghost Hunters Taps
Mhm.
with, like, Jason Hawes. He's talked about the fact that, like, they did a lot of debunking. They did things, like, very truthfully, but it was, like, the networks that ended up editing and
To
showing
make it more
to make it
entertaining.
seem more entertaining.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm mostly talking about, like, YouTube, which it can still obviously happen to
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, we cut out a lot of stuff that is very
Yeah.
boring to watch.
Our videos make it seem like a lot more happens because we cut out the long periods of time where nothing happens.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, at when we went to Randolph County Asylum, we had, like, almost 20 hours worth of footage,
Yeah.
and the only activity that we really had was for the, like, hour and a half long video that I put in,
Yeah.
that I, like, edited.
So like you're just you're not getting all of the like moments where we're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah. So, I've been trying to put more of those moments in our vlogs
Mhm.
to kind of show, like, a
True.
behind the scenes of, like, here's other places that we've been, because there's times where, like, we'll investigate almost, like, the entire building,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
only, like, the 3 places that we get activity make it into the full investigation because that's what people want to see. But I don't know, I've been trying to put, like to, like, show people, like, what actually
What it's
happens
actually
in the
like.
vlogs to kind of be like, "Here's the peek behind the curtain." A lot of it is us sitting in the sheriff's room at Blackford and being like, "We're not getting activity. We're in the bubble, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, this place is just so quiet."
Yeah.
At one point, I even tell you, I'm like, "I don't think," 'cause, like, there might only be 2 locations, like, this might be a short video just because there's not much.
Yeah.
And mostly just because 'cause I'm not interested in making a video that is, like, 3 hours, like, 3, 4 hours long of nothing.
Yeah.
I'm too
Completely.
ADHD
Mhm.
to
Well,
that.
I can't watch a video that's 3 hours long even if it's not. Oh.
I can, but it's very but not ghost hunting.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So
But I don't know, I've worked with like Mackie and Amanda and
mhm,
we did stuff with them. And one of the things that Amanda has told me is like, don't worry about getting activity because she said that at the beginning of her career doing this, that she was worried like, we're not getting activity. Like, what are we gonna do to like make activity? How are we gonna find it? Are we gonna be here all night trying to find
yeah,
it? And she's like, it seems more real with videos that get nothing
yeah,
or get very little.
mhm,
And that's the kind of content that I want to put out so that people realize not every paranormal investigator is faking things.
yeah. I don't know, I think that there's I don't know, I've had issues with the amount of, like, pointing at, like I don't know, it's almost like throwing a dart and at, like, a channel and being like, "Oh, I hit? Okay, you're fake." Like,
Mhm.
there's so many channels that are being called fake now where it's like
Yeah, no, that's just the easiest way to invalidate someone is to
mhm,
say what they're doing is invalid.
yeah,
So in this space, it's very much saying, "Oh, I see a string being pulled," or you're like editing something to make it look like it's paranormally happening. So that's like the first thing that people do to be like, "You're fake."
mhm,
But are they actually fake or is that just something that people just like don't like the channel and they're trying to attack that? So people say that Mackie and Amanda are fake, but we've literally investigated with them. They're not doing anything
yeah, they
differently.
don't I don't know, they don't try to force anything.
Mhm.
I know we sat in that courtyard with them,
Yeah.
and, this is kind of spoilers because that's the video's not out yet, it's coming out. I guess it's coming out this weekend as of recording this,
Yeah.
so you'll see this later, but we sat for a while and nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw a few things, but not really much at all.
Yeah, we didn't get much activity. Like the REM pod didn't go off. The flashlights didn't even really go off much.
Yeah.
Like especially like when we were inside the hotel room, some things happened, but
Mhm.
that was still not all that much.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it was very like intermittent.
Mhm.
And like, do we just scrap that video and not post it, or do we like go in and like get like fishing line? People like to say fishing line, they like used to like move stuff,
I don't have the
but
patience for that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know. We were like I don't know. Because obviously like I don't know like the extent of what other investigators like
Mhm.
bring, because like, I know Mackie and Amanda, they just bring the one camera, and
Yeah.
they have, like, a backpack with some stuff. We have, like, duffel bags of literally just all of our ghost hunting equipment, and we
And
bring
camera
3
too.
cameras,
Yeah.
and, like, we got tripods and
We're
all of
like,
our
let's make
lights.
this cinematic.
Ah, which, I mean, I like that we use multiple angles. I
Yeah,
think it
it
makes
makes
it
it more
interesting,
interesting.
but I don't know, like, I couldn't imagine trying to, like, set up, like, fake shit,
Yeah.
which I'm sure people will probably be like, "Oh, you guys must."
People do it though. I've seen stuff where they actually
I
do
know that
it,
people actually do
but
it, but I'm waiting for the concept to be like, "Oh, so you guys think that you wouldn't do it, that means you do it."
oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah. Yeah, I
because.
mean everyone can like flip over
Mhm,
invalidation. That's the easiest way to like make hate on someone is just
yeah,
to flip and do the opposite.
because like,
So,
if I'm being honest, like, the s I've had to, like, cut back on, like, being invested in the debunking, because obviously, like,
mhm.
I don't know. I've since the Cody and Satori thing, and I became aware of the different debunking channels. Like, I will like occasionally watch some of them to see kind of like what's going on, because I like to be in the know of what's happening in
Mm,
like our little like niche.
yeah.
But I don't know now. Whenever like we go some like we're doing ghost hunting or filming, I'm my always just
This
thinking
voice in the
of,
back of your head.
I wonder how someone is like, what are people gonna say about this? What are how are they gonna try to invalidate this? Or they're gonna say about this, and this. So like while we're filming, while I'm editing,
Yeah.
now it's just that constant nagging voice of what is the worst thing that people are gonna try to claim that we're doing
Yeah.
now because.
What line is it
Mhm,
that proves the existence of ghosts? Because there's still going to be a community of people that don't believe them.
yeah,
And that's okay. This might not be the content for you, but we believe ghosts are real and we are trying to prove that the paranormal isn't scary like
mhm.
everyone says it is.
Which, oh, okay. Sorry, you're like getting me in my like ranting
Oh,
phase because I have so many opinions on all of this shit just because I've watched too many of like the debunking things and like
yeah.
watched like all these little communities work. But because we've also had comments of people saying that because we don't try to force people to believe in what we do as
Yeah.
mediums, that it proves that like we don't believe ourselves, which I don't understand that argument.
Yeah, if you guys okay, there's different niches within like ghost stuff, I guess
Mhm,
you could say, because you have the spiritualist community, which is very much like crystals, meditation, yoga, that sort of thing.
mhm,
And
like
then you
past life
have
regressions.
yeah, that sort of
Yeah,
area of the internet. And then you have mediumship, which is a different area, and a lot of mediums are specifically talking about like how they perceive ghosts and things like that. But a lot of mediums are not interested in proving
mhm,
themselves or proving ghosts exist.
yeah,
So if you come to them and are like, "I don't believe you're real. Tell me like what's in this envelope," or like tell me something very specific. Personally, I'm not interested in reading you because I don't have the energy to try to prove something to someone that never wants to believe anything that
yeah,
I say.
and I don't know, it's also to me, like, when we say that, like, if you choose not to believe that, like, we're real mediums, we don't believe in mediums, and we say that's okay, like,
Yeah.
like, that's not us being, like, invalidating of ourselves, we just are respecting your own, like,
Mhm.
beliefs and opinions
Yeah.
because I don't
You
know,
can
it's
believe that we're not real.
yeah, I don't know, that doesn't affect, like, what we do or what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to help people and, like,
Mhm.
show a different side of especially, like, with meddling mediums, like, show a
Yeah.
different side of, like, paranormal investigations.
Yeah, because like I was saying, there's different niches. Mediumship niche is basically where this channel is sort of placed,
Mhm.
but we also have those meddling mediums that's placed in the paranormal niche, and the paranormal niche is, I would say, the biggest one.
Yeah.
So all of the other ones are influenced by people that are from that specific community.
Mhm.
So when you get people coming from the paranormal community and they dip their toe in the other communities like witchcraft community, the spiritualist community, the mediumship community, they don't understand how those things work. They just understand the people on TV
Yeah.
that are have like the equipment that are like, you're a demon, you're gonna talk to a demon, and all of the like trying to invalidate that ghosts are real and all of
Mhm.
this like stuff. So they're confused why they come into the mediumship niche and they're like, why aren't you trying to prove that you're real when you're a medium and you're in the mediumship niche, your end goal is not to prove to people that ghosts exist. Your end goal a lot of times is to create peace and clarity.
Yeah. And, we'll have a podcast coming out later about how mediumship isn't what people say it is,
Mhm.
'cause that I have to remind mys I'm saying that to remind myself of that so I don't start
Yeah.
talking about it. But, yeah, I don't know, I just get frustrated when people, like, come and attack us or, like, even, like, criticize, like, not like, normal critiques and criticisms, I'm totally fine with,
Mhm.
but people, like, who are who we've had to, like, ban,
Yeah.
who repeatedly go to, like, any content we're in on whoever's channel
Mhm.
just to say, like, "Oh, like, they don't believe that they have to prove themselves, they're fake." It's frustrating to me because
Yeah.
it's like, I already like, we talked about, like, the insecurities with mediumships. I already am, like have, like,
Questioning
questioning,
things.
like, myself,
Yeah.
and it's not until other people validate like, especially when giving readings, it's not until other people validate
Mhm.
it that I, like, believe that what I'm saying could be real.
Yeah, because it's weird and uncomfortable
Yeah,
to know things like that.
it's just interpretations. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, when we go to ghost investigations, it's like, I don't know, ghost investigations are very, like, validating for
Mhm.
mediumship because
You
you
get a
see
lot of
shit.
physical evidence.
Yeah, you can at least, like, if you're clairvoyant, like, you can see, like, you get a lot of, like, evidence from.
Yeah, when you're a medium and you go to a haunted place, you will perceive spirits walking around. Because a lot
Mhm.
of people also like to come in and validate mediumship when you are talking to people through a screen, which again, that is the difference in niche. So
Yeah.
the paranormal niche thinks that you have to be physically on location to talk to souls. The mediumship niche knows that you don't need to do that. So
Yeah.
like you go into the mediumship niche, most mediums you can talk through a phone. They'll do
Yeah.
phone, email,
Email,
like video
Zoom.
chat.
Yeah. I don't know, even, like, the reacting to, like, investigations, like,
Mhm.
watching on YouTube, like, the paranormal niche is very much like, "You can't do that, that's not possible." But if you like, every, like, medium channel who that, like, kind of dabbles
Mhm.
in
The paranormal stuff
paranormal
does
does
similar
that.
things like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a very, like, yeah, you can, like, see, like, the spirits and energy and pick up on things
Yeah.
through a video.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
it's just different niches have very different like
mhm.
rules to them, if that makes sense. But the biggest one is the paranormal niche. And when I say paranormal niche, it's ghost hunts,
Yeah.
paranormal investigations. That niche is the bigger one. That's the more commercialized one. So when they go into the other, like more refined niches,
Mhm.
that's when things get weird and they don't understand the fine minute details of like each like sector of that huge overreaching niche, which
Yeah.
is like mediumship.
Mhm.
But it's also like, I don't know, Cody and Satori, when they started talking about of I don't have interest in proving the existence to ghosts, they literally went on Sam and Colby's channel twice and were like quote unquote experimented on
Mhm.
by Sam and Colby. And then they didn't want to come back to do more experiments because of the reaction that is going on right now.
Yeah.
Proving the existence of ghosts when you're a medium, you can do it all day long. There is going to be someone that does the opposite. And because people have so much high stigma on mediumship as a whole, of it's sensitive information that can harm someone because it's emotionally fueled, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to attack you for it.
Mhm.
And that's why it's not like worth our time to try to prove the existence to ghosts, especially in the mediumship like
Yeah.
aspect of our job, because a lot of people are still going to invalidate us and like try to attack us for trying to take advantage of people when we are nowhere trying to do that at all.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a big issue.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate the whole if you're like you're taking advantage of people's emotions or things because I don't know, like we do a lot of readings on live streams on meddling mediums.
Mhm.
And people have said that like, oh, I don't know, I've seen so many things of if you like do private readings, like you're just scamming people and you're taking advantage of them and
Yeah, you're
or
taking advantage of their like vulnerable
yeah,
whatever state, you
yeah.
know.
And it's like, no.
We're not trying to do that at all.
Yeah,
We're trying to be support for people.
yeah, I don't know. It was like if anything, you see us filtering a lot more to make sure that things come out
Yeah.
in a way that isn't going to potentially like
Mhm.
harm someone.
Yeah, you just put like the money aspect behind things, and that's where people are like, you're taking advantage of them. But we're also not trying to force that at all.
Yeah.
We have to charge money so that we can continue doing this.
Yeah, that is I don't know. I read an article once where it was talking about like how to know if like the psychic medium is real and it's like they need to have like a nice house
Oh my
because
god,
if like
no.
they need to have like a nice house or like a nice place where you do read where they take readings
Yeah,
because if they're good that means they can
afford it.
afford some
Yeah,
like nice things and if they can afford it they should be living in luxury. But
okay.
also if they charge too much, they're just trying to
That's a
take
red
money from
flag
you.
too.
And there's just like all these
So like how is that
contradictions.
even possible?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
or if they ask you any questions, fake. Which there are people who fish. Like we went to a psychic medium and when we were in
Yeah.
California who was very much like trying to fish
Mhm.
for information.
Yeah.
It's like those people do exist. We're not
Yeah.
trying to deny that. But sometimes, I don't know, like last night when we were streaming, giving a reading about someone, like we were talking to Freya because we were doing deity readings,
Mhm.
and Freya kept talking about like children and having family for this person.
Yeah.
And
That's an uncomfortable thing to talk about,
yeah,
especially on the internet.
yeah, and I I didn't know if this person had already had a family. Like I didn't know the context of it. So me being like, I don't know if you have kids already, if you want them, I don't know what's happening, but this is what keeps coming up.
Yeah.
And then that person was able to validate. It's like, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
understand why this is being brought up.
Because a lot of people also don't understand with mediumship, you don't get context because that would take so long.
Mhm.
They just give you, here's information that will make sense to the person you're reading,
Yeah.
but you may also have no idea how it makes sense to them because they're
Mhm.
not going to give you years of their life to validate the, like, I don't know, piece of information you got, you know?
Also, I just need you to know my mom texted me saying, "Did you know it's International Corgi Day?"
What? We have a corgi. She's in the other room.
Yeah, she's over there.
She's asleep.
She's very asleep. I would bring her over here, but I want her to stay asleep.
Yeah, we need to finish recording a podcast and then we can take her out and she can eat food and we can go on a walk and then record another one. But
We're recording a lot of podcasts today.
yeah, I don't know. Proving the existence of ghosts is just, I don't know. We're like in between those two niches,
Mhm.
which is why it's like weird for people because we get people that are very deep in the paranormal niche,
Mhm.
and then we get a lot of people that are in the medium shaped niche that are interested in the paranormal.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like a bit confusing for people, is
Mhm.
because they're coming from a different background.
Yeah.
So us being like, we're not proving the existence of ghosts. We are mediums. We talk to ghosts. Why would we be proving the existence of them?
Yeah.
is weird for people that are very far into the paranormal niche, which is that's what they do in that niche.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like confusing to us and this other person that's like, you're not investigators if you're not proving the existence of ghosts,
Mhm.
but we're proving other things.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like not trying to prove the existence of ghosts is one less stressful too.
Uh-huh. Because again, no one, there's going to be a community of people that will never believe it.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Like
and that's fine.
that you don't have to believe.
That's why it's paranormal. It's just acting funny. It's
Yeah,
weird.
but I don't know. I don't know. I am happy that like our channel is not just trying to prove because
Hmm.
I don't know, there's so many channels that already are like saying that
Yeah,
they're
they
trying to
already do
prove
that.
the existence. So I think at least for me, I think it's interesting to have like channels who already believe
Hmm.
and like they're not trying to prove, they're just trying to
Yeah,
show what happens while they're on an investigation.
yeah, because we've also found other channels that are like that that aren't mediums,
Mhm.
or don't claim they're mediums, because that'll be a different podcast that we think everyone has that.
Yeah.
But there are investigators that are like, I'm just here to like provide support for souls.
Mhm. Yeah, like Charm City Paranormal,
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal XP,
Mm-hmm. Paranormal XP, Mackie and Amanda.
Mackie and Amanda. I feel like
Things like that.
even Amy's Crypt.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Amy Scripps for sure.
Yeah.
They have other motives than trying to prove the existence of ghosts. And I feel like a lot of like investigators are doing that,
Mhm.
but there's still investigators that are have like the bigger channels that are still trying to do that. But
Yeah.
I also feel like they bring other people, like they bring guests and they're like, I'm gonna prove it to this person.
Yeah.
And that also is like a different way of approaching stuff.
Mhm.
But like for our channel, it doesn't make us not paranormal investigators because we're not trying to prove the existence of ghosts. We're trying to gain more information about souls, about the paranormal, in order to change perspectives in other areas.
Exactly.
So, and I know I keep saying that just over and over again,
But
but
it's true.
that's just, I don't know. I don't see how that's not like part of investigating, you know?
Yeah.
You can have more than one like result.
Yeah.
So, if you guys like this type of content, let us know down in the comments. Also make sure you follow the channel. We have YouTube, so we do this on YouTube. We also do this on all of the podcasting networks. We still have to figure out
Podcast. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do
Apple
things for Apple
Podcasts.
Podcasts.
Yeah, because it's on your thing. Because
Uh,
I hate all Apple
Yeah. Yeah.
products. It's fine. I also own them. It's fine. But if you guys don't know, we also have members and Patreon. So we have members for
Those meddling
those meddling
mediums.
mediums, and we have Patreon for Smoke and Mirrors. And we got some things that we added to our backdrop, which is super cute. Um, let's see.
This Scooby Doo's right here.
Yeah, so we got this like
Great.
crochet Scooby Doo, and I know people on the like audio platforms can't see it, and that's fine. But I'm just letting you guys know that if you follow our other channels, like those meddling mediums, we got some things in the background. If you guys are
Yeah.
interested in sending us more stuff, join either members or Patreon, and that's going to allow you to gain access to our PO box address.
Yeah.
And we do like fan mail openings, and we want to add more stuff to our backdrop.
Yeah. These shells are gonna get cluttered. I'm excited.
Yeah, but one of the things that I think is going to be fun, and we're giving you the scoop right now, is we got this crochet Scooby Doo, and we want to make him like a Where's Waldo in our meddling
Yeah.
mediums content. So when we go to haunted locations, we like hide him somewhere in the
Mhm.
scene so that you guys can find him and pick him out and tell us in the comments where he is.
Mhm.
So we think that's going to be super fun.
Yeah. Also, I was informed that his
Hmm.
collar was made with glow in the dark.
Oh, it glows in the
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, the collar is glow in the dark
Yeah,
yarn.
it's like completely custom made.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in like
And
crochet things,
she
she has a
ordered
shop.
yeah, and she ordered the dog tag.
Yeah,
But
so our Scooby Doo
yeah,
has
it's
like a
a
Scooby
SM.
Doo
Mhm.
like dog tag that says SM for
For
smoke
smoke
and
and
mirrors.
mirrors, which I think is super cute.
but it glows in the dark apparently.
Yeah.
And if you guys are interested in her crochet stuff, we'll link it into the show notes or in
Mhm.
the description wherever you are, so you can go check out more of the stuff that she has listed on her Ko-fi. But the stuff that she's made is really freaking cool. But
Yeah.
we're gonna use specifically the like Scooby Doo because it's very like branded towards meddling mediums as like
Mhm.
a Where's Waldo, so you guys can like have fun
Yeah.
finding him in clips.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching if you're over on YouTube.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.